Over the next 55 minutes or so, up until we get to the top of the hour, we're going to put on a program called Commencement Live. It's an opportunity to bring you behind the scenes and meet some of our graduates. I'm going to step out because what you're seeing here is where pretty much everybody lines up as they get ready to go into McCamish for the Master's Commencement Ceremony, which again starts at 3 o'clock, as you well know. Actually, back behind this gym is another one, freshman gym, where everybody in the College of Computing is lined up. And so what they do here is they make announcements, and then students come in, grab their cards, they find their names on the little signs, and then they line up, and then they start to parade about a quarter till, and we're gonna do a little bit of that leading up until the top of the hour. Let me bring in our partner in crime, Stephen Norris, or at least one of them. Stephen, you're the social media director here at Georgia Tech. What types of stories can the folks in McCamish expect to hear over the next hour or so?
Yeah, we're going to be hearing from students who've traveled all over the world, who've finished their graduate degree in one semester. We've got students who've traveled in from across the country to be here, all kinds of things. We're really celebrating along with these students who are really, they've worked hard, and we're celebrating right along with them.
All right, fantastic. So this is Stephen. We have a third member of our team. His name is Bryce Zimmerman, and he's actually hanging out in McCamish to talk to some of the parents. Bryce, take it away.
Thanks, Jason. I am live on section 101, and right now it's starting to fill up. We're starting to see many people get into the stands and get ready to celebrate the Master's Ceremony of Commencement here at Georgia Tech. And what I'm going to be doing throughout this Commencement Live is moving amongst the fans here, the people in the stands, and talking to some families, some friends, and hopefully even some faculty members as we get ready for this commencement, which is coming up in about an hour. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you, Bryce. We're here. Thank you, Bryce. We're here with two of our graduates. As we mentioned, we're going to be introducing you to a lot of folks here ready to celebrate earning their degrees today. And first, let's talk with Anisha. Anisha, now you're a former CNN journalist. Tell me what you got your degree in.
So originally my undergraduate degree was in CNN, in journalism, and I started my career at CNN International as an international journalist. From there I made the transition into technology, and I decided to pursue my career in technology, and I applied to Georgia Tech on a whim. And somehow, miraculously, I got in, and now I'm getting out.
Now you're saying I got out. Now, what is cool, you've got something in your hand that a lot of tech folks are going to know. Tell me what this is.
This is a Harry Potter one, which I got 2 months ago when Georgia Tech sponsored all the women in computing to go to the Grace Hopper Conference in Orlando. One of the best things about Georgia Tech was their support for women in computing. So when we went to Orlando, I took a little bit of time, ran out to the Harry Potter world, and got this wand. So this wand is a representation of everything I've done at Georgia Tech and more to come. So expecto patronum.
And a little side note, this is also going to be how your family is going to see you in the crowd.
Yes, I will be waving my wand around, and hopefully the only one in the crowd waving my wand around for my family to find me.
Okay, hopefully those spells don't go crazy. All right, so thank you, Anisha. She's got to go get in line. We've got another student. Anisha actually was on campus for her master's in computer science. Ebony here, you were studying online. And
the Georgia Tech
for
OMS,
hundreds of graduates today, they have actually seen your face. Where have they seen you before?
Well, they've seen me on the Shindig platform. They've also seen me in all the orientation videos. They've seen me throughout PBS News and the New York Times. So been quite a few places, but it's been a really cool journey to do that.
And you're an Atlanta native. What made you want to take part in the OMSCS program? How did you find out about it?
Really, I found out through my company. I work for AT&T, and there's been this really big push to start moving towards being a more software-defined company instead of being that boring telecommunications company. So they told us, they were like, hey, let's go back and let's start retooling ourselves and learning more. And so I quickly got into that, and it was very exciting to be a part.
Now, do you have family over in McCamish here to celebrate with you today?
I do. My whole family's here. I want to give a shout out to my mommy, and my best friend is here as well, and then all my sisters are here, so I'm very excited.
Ebony has to go get her name card and find out where she is in line, so we're going to send her off. Congratulations.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
All right. Thank you so much, Ebony. Lots of excitement here today and lots of graduates that are celebrating. Some of our graduates from the Scheller College of Business take part in a very special tradition before they graduate when they've landed a job and they ring a bell. Take a look at this package to celebrate with them.
Welcome back to Commencement Live here in the Zelnack Center. I'm Jason Mader. It's time to meet another one of our students, and Justin Worthy. Justin, come on up. You've kind of got a cool background, I guess. You worked in the Navy. Tell us a little bit about what you did and what was it like to be in a submarine?
I was a mechanic in the engine room on a fast attack submarine, and it was just a bunch of guys hanging out with nowhere to go and nothing creative to do, so we had to get creative.
I'll spare you some of those creative details. It might get a little PG-13. But talk to us a little bit about what's it like to live in a submarine, and how long did you go underwater? Was the majority of your time above water, doing things that had nothing to do with being submerged?
Most of the time was underwater, at most 90 days at a time. Just a lot of movies, a lot of cleaning, just doing a job.
Doesn't sound as glamorous as we might think by watching Hollywood or something like that?
Absolutely not.
Tell us a little bit about your time here at Georgia Tech. What are you getting your degree in, and what do you do next with it?
Facility management, building construction, and I work as a facility manager, so I'll be using that for hopefully bigger and better things with my career.
You left the Navy, so there's no more Navy time for you. Talk about what it's like to get a Georgia Tech education. How difficult is it? Was it smooth sailing, no pun intended?
Well, I mean, you got a lot of good professors that help out, and a lot of good people from the industries coming in and teaching you stuff from their perspective. So it was pretty fun compared to other schools I've been to. So it was a lot of good times, and it wasn't hard at all.
All right, fantastic. Justin, we're going to look into the camera because Bryce Zimmerman's with a couple of your family, or a few of your family members. Justin Worthy, getting his degree in Master's in Building Construction Management.
All right, thank you very much, Jason. And we are down here at the bottom of section 107, getting ready for commencement. And I am with Justin's mother, Becky. Justin's mom, who made the trip over from
North Augusta, South Carolina.
So not that far away for you to be able to come over here. What was it like to watch your son up there on the big screen here at McCamish as you're getting ready for commencement?
I'm just so proud of him. Everything he's done in the Navy, this.
What was it like for you when he went into the Navy and then decided he was going to come back and continue his education?
Oh, it was great. I was really proud of him. He started with a nuclear school there, and he's just kept going.
All right, we also have Justin's two sons over here. Hi, guys. Well, right here. Hey, buddy. How's it going? You want to say hi?
Hi.
What's your name?
Lucas.
Lucas, and you are over here?
Logan.
All right, Lucas and Logan. Did you guys see your dad up on the Jumbotron? Was that pretty cool? Are you ready for a 6.5-hour long ceremony? I'm just kidding. It's only a couple hours. All right. So that is the family of Justin Worthy. Now we're going to take a look at a mechanical engineer who has an insatiable lust for travel.
Well, here she is, actually. So we're going to show your story here in a little bit of a second. This is Caitlin Lexana. And Caitlin, you've been all over the world, and we won't have to go into where you've been because people see that in the story. But tell us, why did you choose to travel as both an undergraduate and a graduate student here at Georgia Tech?
Well, I think a great part about Georgia Tech is that it's such a melting pot. We see so many people from so many different parts of the world, and it's kind of one thing just to meet them, to see them in classes every day, to see them around the dorms, but it's a whole other thing to be a part of it and be surrounded by what they grew up with, what they ate, the religions they saw, the people they saw, and so I really wanted to kind of surround myself with it just like they have been growing up.
So people are about to hear all the places that you went. Tell us some place that you haven't been that you'd really like to go.
Australia. It's a long trip, but I would love to go one day.
So you got your undergraduate here, getting your master's in mechanical engineering. What's next for you? And please tell me that that job will allow you to travel.
I'll be starting as an associate consultant with the Boston Consulting Group here in Atlanta, but I'll be traveling over 90%. So a lot of travel, still solving problems, and I'm really excited for it.
All right, people are about to see you on screen. Caitlin Lexana, take it away.
Let's start with the place I've been most often, which is Indonesia. It's also my favorite place to go. That may be a little bit biased given that I'm half Indonesian, so a lot of my family still lives over there. But I got to go there with my dad and my sister, and we did everything from hiking a volcano to visiting a monkey forest, which is basically just a reserved park where there's a huge density of monkeys traveling around. The island of Bali, visiting temples, surfing on the famous beaches, visiting a rice terrace, which is basically rice paddies that are along a really steep hill or cliff. I've also been to Japan with my sister, which was an amazing experience. We visited a lot of temples and shrines. Traveling has showed me how important it is to go out into the world, find the problems that need solving, and then come back and use what we've learned at Georgia Tech to solve them. What I learned as I traveled, which was really important for me, and part of the reason that I did come to the master's program here, was as I walk around and I see the different technologies and things that these other countries have, my mind immediately goes to ways to re-engineer it, to redesign it to make it more efficient and make these people's lives easier. And that for me is a huge driving force and motivation to come to the master's program and learn as much as I can to solve those problems.
So I took 5 years to do my undergraduate degree, but in the last semester of undergrad, so in my spring of my 5th year, I ended up doing half of a master's degree. I was able to do my master's degree with only one full-time semester as a graduate student. Yeah, it's kind of weird that I'm graduating again. Graduated in May with undergrad and now graduating in December with a master's. In March, I'll be joining Google as an associate product manager, and product managers at software companies like Google are the people that kind of dream up the new features and kind of oversee the software development that makes them happen. The first time I applied for the program was after my 4th year, and I applied for the internship, and I got turned down after about 2 months of interviewing. Just happy to have made it that far, and I knew that I could try again the next year for the full-time position. After doing the entire process again after my 5th year for the full-time role, I made it all the way down to the Google's hiring committee, and they turned me down again. And on my rejection call, I said, like, I understand, you know, I didn't get the position. I've actually been accepted to my master's. Like, will you let me do the internship? And they said, no one's really asked us that before. I need to go back to the committee, and they're going to have to re-vote on you. And they came back to me 2 weeks later, and they said that I got the internship. After I did the internship, I had some good projects, and I did my final interviews with some directors, and I was really fortunate to get the full-time job. I saw that throughout all of my internships all the way through college with Texas Instruments and Boeing and LinkedIn and Google. And you tell people you're from Georgia Tech and you're an engineer at Georgia Tech, people from around the world know that, and they immediately respect your technical acumen, and it's really awesome to see that. It's not just about luck, it's more so people that are successful just know how to use luck when they get it. For me, that was being introduced to someone who was at Google that took an interest in my success and helped me along the way. You know, I got turned down a lot more times than I was told yes, and I knew that it only took one yes to make it kind of happen. I tried my best not to get defeated or deflated when I was kind of presented with, you know, a bad grade or a rejection on the job. Keep trucking, keep holding on, and you know, you never know, you might find yourself in the place that you never thought was possible at the end.
All right, in case you missed it, this guy here, Cole Beavis, he graduated with his master's, one full-time semester. Pretty amazing. Is it a big sigh of relief now?
It is great to be done. I can't say this last week has been very easy, but it's great to be done now.
Now, one cool thing, if you saw the last couple clips of video in Cole's package there, he spent a lot of time on campus working with the Excel program, working with students with developmental disabilities. Tell me how that added to your time while you were at Georgia Tech.
Yeah, it was a really awesome organization. It just started up during my last year of school, and I had the chance to work with it, and it was particularly awesome because my little sister in the audience, hi Nicolette, has Down syndrome, so it was a really cool program to kind of imagine the future for her getting opportunities after high school.
And after all of this, all the hard work that you've put in, you are able to say, I've landed my dream job.
That's true. Yeah, so I'll be joining Google in March, and a long time took to get there, but I'm really excited to get out there.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is what Georgia Tech grads do. Cole, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
We'll see you on the stage. All right, so the next graduate we're going to introduce you to, as we mentioned, Cole finished in a one full-time semester. This next graduate waited a little bit later in life and actually has a second master's degree 32 years after earning his first master's degree. Let's meet John Crisp.
I guess the first time I was mistaken for a professor was before I even enrolled. I came for a visit, accepted student visit, and someone walked up to me and said, "Are you?" and named one of the professors. I'm like, "No, I'm an incoming student just like you." I'd say the only real difference between me and the people in their 20s was the fact that I had accumulated a house, a wife, 2 kids, 2 dogs, 4 cars to kind of keep going all the time. When I was a graduate student first time, you know, you live 10 minutes from class, you walk there, you don't have all these things to worry about and take care of. It's a whole lot easier. My first semester, I felt like I dropped at least 25 years in age. In terms of my attitude, my health. I was really interested in this program. This program talked about the concept of user experience and most importantly talked about centering on the human and coming at computing from a psychology perspective. And I always felt like that was something that was missing in business schools and in computer science. So we don't think much about psychology. We kind of pretend that's one of those liberal arts things that we don't want to talk about. But it's a really important thing of getting people to work together and getting people to use a computer. I hope to go out and work for a large company and hopefully try and take some of the software that people use every day for work and try to make it easier so their job's easier and they can do their job better.
And here is John at a ripe young age of 61 years old. You also have 2 children. One of them is in college, one getting ready to go to college. Did y'all trade homework secrets because you're both college students?
Oh, a little bit. I know a little bit about the online systems and how to deal with that. What's interesting is to challenge the moving dates for starting the semester and ending semester. Sometimes that's a challenge.
What's it like on your wife to have 3 kids in college?
Yeah, 3 kids of tuition. Wow, that's a load.
What's next for you? How many more years do you want to work? It seems like you kind of have a new lease on your work life.
I'd like to work maybe 10, 15 more years, and who knows, I'm ready for another change of career by then.
You'd come back for a 3rd master's?
Sure.
You want to say hello to your family there?
Hi, sweetie. Hi, Sharon. Hi, Lauren.
This is John Crisp at 61 years old. He's getting his master's degree in human-computer interaction. Now, you and I were supposed to see each other last week, but weather kind of got in the way. They provided for a beautiful scene here at Georgia Tech. Let's take you back to Snow Day 2017. Earlier we talked about OMSCS, which is our College of Computing's Masters of Science in Computer Science online degree program.
We are so excited. We just feel so blessed to have 2 kids to come here, and that was in their dream in the beginning, because Georgia Tech is such a rich history, and we just enjoy knowing that they are graduating with their masters from a high excellent school of excellence. We are so happy. We're just overwhelmed.
So Mom and Dad are very proud, but let's go ahead and introduce y'all. Who are you to this brother and sister combo?
All right, Al Franklin, husband to Shay. And this is my daughter, our daughter, Hayden Franklin.
Yeah. I'm Shay's daughter, and then I'm Shannon's niece.
So how many people do you think have been able to see their mom and their uncle walk across the stage at the same time? Are you the first?
Probably.
All right, y'all. Well, thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of the day, and let's send it back up to Jason in Zelnak.
All right. Thank you very much, Bryce. So let's set the scene one more time for you. We're coming up on the top of the hour. Again, this is the Zelnak Center. This is where the majority of colleges line up. Students walk in, they go to their individual colleges, and they look for their schools within their colleges. They get their names, they find their name, they line up, and then they wait. And there are actually the College of Computing on the other end of this building. So we got a couple of more students to learn before we start making that walk with those students. And well, let's look at Shay. Shay's getting her picture taken, and you know we'll play around here. Shay used to play basketball here at Georgia Tech, and we're about to learn more about her. Shay, guess what? You're on camera.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's all right. You're used to being the center of attention. So Shay, women's basketball player, used to play ball at Eastern Michigan, but you came here as a grad student. Why did you choose to come to Georgia Tech?
I just seen pretty more opportunities for me to come here and expand my career and maybe get a job in something different.
Tell me about a little bit of balancing being a student athlete with the rigorous studies here at Georgia Tech.
It is really hard, but athletics, they offer so many resources that you should be able to do it just fine.
So I guess the crowning moments of your Georgia Tech career would no doubt be your last game, even though it didn't go the way we wanted to in the end. Tell me about playing in a triple overtime game for the Women's NIT Championship.
It was really fun. Being at EMU, I've been to the NIT, but never to the championship game. So it was very fun, but it was tiring because it was three overtimes, but I had fun.
All right. What do you do next?
I don't know. I'm going to keep playing, though.
All right. Fantastic. Congratulations. Thanks so much for joining us. That's Shay Sweeney, a women's basketball player. So Mike Valakocha is a former swimmer here at Georgia Tech, although it's been some time since you swam. They're getting ready to walk you out of here.
Yeah, exciting.
Tell us a little bit about your studies, and you did it all while working here at Georgia Tech, is that right?
Yeah, that's right. So I was an evening MBA student, so I went to school after work, which was pretty difficult, but I was able to make it work, and now I'm here today.
How much do you swim now?
Not as much as you would think, but a couple times a year, so not a lot, but I still like to stay active, and I try to do different activities to stay fit, and swimming is definitely a part of that still, and it's a big part of my life.
Does it feel like your swimming career, which wrapped in 2011, was a long time ago, or have things moved quickly since you were an undergraduate here?
Things definitely moved quickly, but swimming was a big part of my life, and it kind of shaped who I am today. So it's always been a part of me and part of my career here at Georgia Tech from when I was an undergrad till today.
You got people out there watching you today?
I do, yeah.
Go ahead and say hello.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. Hi, everybody.
Very good. All right, Mike Valakocha. I got it right?
Yeah, that's right.
All right, congratulations. Okay. All right, so let me bring in Stephen Norris, and tell us a little bit about what we have up next, because we're nearing the end of when we're going to have to leave the Zelnak Center.
Yeah. So what's happening now, if we kind of look over, we're kind of getting the final instructions. We've got all of our graduates who are kind of lined up here. They're separated out by major, so you can see the different color sashes based on the course of study here, and everybody's getting ready to march in order over to McCamish. So we're going to kind of wrap up from in here. I've got one more student. Tell me your name and what you're studying.
Jessica Lampkin, and I'm part of the global business program for the Scheller College of Business.
And as you can see, as I mentioned, by the color coded, our MBA graduates will be wearing tan tonight. Show me the back of your cap and gown, and or the cap there. tell me what this means. While
Oh, so I have on here that I am the master of my fate as I'm getting my master's degree. You know, it's my choice to go back and go to school. I'm working full-time right now, and I just wanted to do what I can and accomplish my dreams.
Yeah. So what will you be doing after graduation?
I've been working at Deloitte Consulting, so I will continue working there. I'm hoping to travel more with my family and spend some more time with my family and just going and being the best consultant I can be.
And when I'm looking at all these folks in tan, you seem to be the particularly most raucous group. Are you the most excited, it seems like?
I think so. It's been a very hard 17-month program. We've really bonded together as a group, and we have a lot of fun together. So absolutely, ruckus is what we do.
Anybody over in McCamish you want to say hello to?
Just hi to my family, my husband, my mom, my dad, my sister, nephew, in-laws. Thank you guys for coming. Yay.
All right, Jessica's got to go get in line. We're wrapping up here from McCamish. Jason?
So this guy was kind of hovering behind the camera, probably because he texted his parents or somebody to see you. Is that right?
Actually, my wife and kids and my parents are overseas right now, so they're watching the live feed. I was trying to see if they could see me.
All right, well, we gave them an extended stay here to be able to see.
Appreciate it.
What's your name?
Shiraz Masood.
And your degree?
Management, MBA, Global Business.
Fantastic. All right, go back and get in line.
Thanks.
We pull them on stage.
This is always fun.
So yeah, so this is where it, you can see the mood starts to change here in Zelnak as they get ready to walk. Tell us how people can stay in touch in social media circles over the next 2.5 hours.
Yeah, so for the rest of the day and also in tomorrow as we celebrate with our bachelor's graduates, we'll be posting on our different social media channels. You can follow Georgia Tech on Instagram or Twitter at Georgia Tech. You can follow us on Facebook. You can just search Georgia Tech and find us there. We're currently live streaming there, and hello to the folks who are watching on Facebook.
All right, so let's run down some numbers. 360 doctorate degrees were actually handed out this morning. 1,450 master's students are in the program. That doesn't mean that there are 1,450 people that are going to walk across the stage. Actually, we have undergraduate pegged at 1,350 tomorrow, so add it up, and it's a little bit more than 3,000 students. So we're going to go underneath. This is live TV, so I'm going to try here. But I think Bryce Zimmerman is getting ready to...
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. Bryce, are you back there with an interview? We're coming to see you regardless.
I'm actually on the floor here at McCamish Pavilion. I'm with a distinguished guest. Let the people here know who you are and what your role is here at this wonderful institution.
So I'm Paul Goldbart, and I'm Dean of Georgia Tech's College of Sciences.
And the College of Sciences has had a fantastic year. When you think about some of the things that have been accomplished in the College of Sciences, we're here for the master's ceremony, but there's been some real highlights in 2017 fall semester for a lot of the researchers in the sciences department.
There has. There's been absolutely spectacular work all over the college, from math to psychology and everything in between. But perhaps the biggest thing of all was the observation of colliding neutron stars out there in the cosmos. Absolutely fantastic.
And this was a semester that really started off with a bang because of the eclipse. And we had 97% coverage here at Georgia Tech with the eclipse, and it was a fantastic turnout at Tech Green.
It really was. It was marvelous. People in the College of Sciences and elsewhere on campus came together to build an absolutely fabulous experience. It was Woodstock comes to Georgia Tech. It was great. We've got to figure out what to do next August.
So this is one of 3 different ceremonies that are being held this weekend here at McCamish Pavilion. This is the Master's ceremony. What does this one kind of mean compared to the undergraduate and the PhD?
Yeah, the Master's is a very special ceremony. It's a wonderful degree that really prepares people to go into high-level jobs in the workforce or to carry on an academic work on towards the doctorate. So a great degree to have.
Dean Goldbart, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much. Congratulations to our graduates.
That is Dean Goldbart, and what we're going to do now is we're going to send it upstairs. We're going to have a couple of packages roll, and we're going to get ready as the students, now graduates, make their way towards the stage and get ready for commencement. We're still just a little bit away, but we're going to watch a couple things up on the big board as we get set for commencement to start.
I'd like to thank my family, my mom, dad, my brother COVID, for always being there, for supporting me in my in my academic adventures, and I'd also like to thank my professors for getting me to where I am today. And go Jackets!
Je voulais juste dire merci maman et papa, donc Maxime et Isabelle, pour m'avoir permis d'étudier à Georgia Tech. Merci beaucoup.
Hi, Mom and Dad. I just wanted to say thank you for everything. I couldn't get here without you.
On behalf of the Georgia Tech Parking and Transportation Services, congratulations to the class 2017.
Hey all, my name is Swapnil Acharya. I want to thank my parents and my friends. It wouldn't have been possible without them for graduation. And of course, thanks a lot, Buzz. I love you.
Hi, Georgia Tech. I just want to say thank you to my advisors, Art and Mira, for being great role models and teachers, and go Jackets!
Thank you so much, everyone, and I had a great time here at Georgia Tech, and I'm really going to miss the school a lot and miss my time over here. Go Jackets!
Congratulations, class of 2017. Mom, Dad, thank you. I got out.
First of all, I would like to thank my family, who has been always encouraging and supporting for all the endeavors that I wanted to pursue in my life. I would also like to thank my teachers right from school, college, grad school, who have been always encouraging and have been a very good source of motivation for me. I can never forget the moments that I had at Georgia Tech, the fun, the love, and the affection that all my friends have showered upon me. I would also like to thank Georgia Tech for its vibrant and diverse culture. On a personal note, it has been very welcoming and accommodating for international students like me. Thank you, Georgia Tech, for all the opportunities that you have provided and for everything. It was a roller coaster ride. And yeah, I'm a hell of a doctor now. Thanks.
At Georgia Tech, we're helping create a healthier world by developing the next research advances in diabetes treatment, vaccine administration, and cell-based therapies. Through basic science, we're also finding new ways to fight cancer, gaining new knowledge about how the brain works, and understanding the molecular pathways that lead to glaucoma. This research is made possible by support from the National Science Foundation, National Institutes of Health, and other federal agencies, along with Children's Healthcare of Atlanta, the Marcus Foundation, other institutions, universities, and private industry. A partnership between Georgia Tech, the Marcus Foundation, other universities and companies could produce dramatic advances in technology for manufacturing large volumes of living cells for treating cancer, heart disease, and many other disorders. The Marcus Center for Therapeutic Cell Characterization and Manufacturing will provide new engineering tools for the standardized production and quality testing for these therapeutic cells. A Georgia Tech team is working on glaucoma, the second leading cause of blindness. One lab focuses on the protein myocilin, which causes glaucoma in children, and on ways to prevent the protein from going wrong. A grant from the National Institutes of Health is helping unlock more of myocilin's mysteries. A partnership between Georgia Tech and Emory University has led to the first successful clinical trial of microneedle patches for flu vaccination. The patches resemble a Band-Aid, with rows of needles too small to be seen. Pressed onto the skin, the needles dissolve, carrying vaccine with them into the body, potentially replacing the conventional hypodermic needle and syringe. The patches could one day boost flu immunization rates and allow people to vaccinate themselves. The study was funded by the National Institutes of Health. Georgia Tech researchers have demonstrated a new technology that could benefit patients with type 1 diabetes. Combining a new hydrogel with a protein that boosts blood vessel growth, the technique could improve the success rate for transplanting islet cells that would restore the body's ability to produce insulin. The research is supported by the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation and the National Institutes of Health. Researchers have developed a novel targeted therapy to attack ovarian cancer. The nanohydrogel technique allows an interfering RNA to enter malignant cells, knocking down a protein gone awry that is involved in many forms of cancer. Breaking the legs of cancer cells with minuscule gold nanorods has the potential to offer clinicians going after individual tumors a weapon to combat the cancer's deadly spread. A process called metastasis, which is responsible for more than 90% of cancer deaths. The research is funded by the National Institutes of Health and the National Science Foundation. Researchers are applying systems analysis approaches and engineering tools to understand the human brain and develop methods for treating its ills. Researchers are also leveraging the brain's power to compensate for injuries to it and to the body. Through partnership and innovation, we're helping create health advances that will change lives throughout the world. We're creating the next.
This is such a great experience for me doing my master's here at Georgia Tech. First, I want to thank my parents, Sarah Colley, and Jeff Offen. They've been there for me throughout the whole process. My girlfriend, Emma Logoval, she's amazing. Most importantly is Mark Clemens, my advisor. He is the nicest advisor ever. People go get him. Sucks that he's retiring, but I really like him. And also the Georgia Tech community in general.